your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
Good evening, ladies and germs. No, I am not sleeping. I just play a sleeping person on TV. It's your boy, Radical Rich, and we're back with White Devils. Neither blizzard, nor brain injury, nor funeral can keep us from kicking it with the peoples. I'm here once again with my partner who is trying to work off his phone on the road somewhere in Michigan. Rob
Yes,
Hill.
I am literally in Michigan, some back road in Michigan, driving to Grand Rapids.
Oh man, what a season! Season 2 has just been fucking awesome.
But the show must go on, right?
The show must go on.
Everybody's probably watching, like, what the fuck? Is he in a car? Yes, I am in a car.
Yeah, we take
And we are
risks.
driving.
We take real risks just to come.
So I wouldn't likely be popping in and out here and there. I'll be here for the whole episode, but I do got to check into the hotel and everything. I'm only probably about half hour away from there, so. But we got a lot to get into today, guys. A lot to get into. It's been a while since we've been with you guys, and there's been a shitload of shit happening. Like, you name it, it's probably happened.
Run.
President Biden has been signing his life away on executive order after executive order, so we're going to do a slight rundown on the important ones. We're going to get into the stimulus update, with you guys, and we'll be getting into the shit. Let's make politics fun.
Yeah,
because I cuss when I talk about them.
And coming out of the Trump era, we swore we'd make it more about the Biden administration, but you can't talk politics without talking about what the GOP has going on, and we'll get into that too.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of shenanigans. Before we get into anything, because I know we've been very sporadic the last few weeks, most of the second season. So just so everybody knows, programming notes, we're on today. We're on next Wednesday, and then we'll be moving to Sundays. We're skipping Super Bowl Sunday and waiting for the following Sunday, and then we will be doing Sundays. So you'll get us 2 more Wednesdays, and then from that moving forward, it'll be Sundays.
Yes, so you're going to get, within a period of like 4 days, you're going to get 2 episodes, like Devils next week, Wednesday, then the Sunday right after that. And then after that, every Sunday at 4 o'clock, we will be live, 4 o'clock Central Standard Time at that. We're making the switch. I already do a show, as some of you guys that watch this show also watch my Sunday dinner show. So, I'm trying to consolidate everything into one day. And B, it's opening us up to a wider audience. People are at home on Sundays, football season's ending, and it gives everybody a little something extra to do. So why not? Sundays, 4 o'clock, starting next week.
Yep.
I don't know what date that is, or I would say the date right now.
Yeah. I want to say it's the 14th. Oh, God, is it Valentine's Day?
No, Valentine's Day is a Monday, so it's the 13th.
No. Hold on, let me check.
I'm pretty sure. Hold on, I'm checking right now.
Because I got a doctor's appointment. That was Monday. Yeah, the 15th is a Monday, so we're actually
okay. Yeah, then it is Sunday. Okay, yeah, okay.
So sorry, Yosh. You're gonna have to stall out for a minute while we do our thing.
I don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
You don't believe in it?
No, I sell chocolate covered strawberries, so I work all day.
I work all day. Yeah, you'll be working here talking fucking politics, getting stoned.
Yeah, but
our job.
Let's get into the executive orders. Do a slight rundown on what he has. That the ones we know there's like 42 of them so far.
He hit the Jackie Robinson before too.
Yep. So some of them, a lot of them were to reverse a lot of a lot of things that Trump set forth in the motion during his presidency. He has put a halt to the Keystone Pipeline. I've seen a
Yeah.
lot of mixed reviews on that throughout my Facebook feed and my Twitter feed.
Well, listen,
I
they have a real beef. Like, yes, it's costing American jobs, but this is the
Yes,
painful transition of moving into new energy. And what you need to do is follow that up with a jobs program and give a company like a sweet tax deal to come in there, a green energy company, to take up those workers. I think.
yeah, exactly. I see that point of view of it, and I also see the point of view as like, hey, first of all, that's not your land, so
Yeah,
it should have been null. It should have been null and void in the beginning. There's already been There's already been a couple leaks. There's been one major spill,
yeah,
and this company that maintains the pipeline does not have a good track record. So
yeah,
you can't. I don't care if it's for the greater good of the country. If you're trying to go through somebody's house and they don't want you to go through their house, you got to go around their house. They didn't want the added cost past the company didn't want to absorb the added cost to run the pipeline through another area. So they infringed on sovereign land that belongs to the Native Americans. So the little amount of native land that they have left. So
we're losing the race for new energy. You know, after 4 years of Trump going back to embrace fossil fuels, it has not been good for us. I know there's some growing pains, and that's those are real jobs. But sorry, man, like your industry's dying. It's dying anyways. Like coal didn't come back. Trump didn't bring that shit back.
no, not at
Oh,
all.
fossil fuels is in fucking deep trouble. I mean, they're still making money at the moment, but there's whole countries now that are dependent or independent of fossil fuel. And I mean, eventually we have to go there. So it's like, might as well start now.
He also I don't know if it was an executive order, but he also he he's phasing out all gasoline powered federal vehicles that's used for federal work by 2035.
I think it was 2035. Yeah.
So, and there was a lot of backlash from that on the side because Pelosi bought $1 million in Tesla stock the day before that was announced. But I believe the contract is going to go to GM.
Hey, good for them.
So there's that kind of does away with the insider trading buying.
Yeah.
or the pundits that has that that want to comment on that.
But didn't we decide that didn't matter?
No,
I
it
mean,
don't really matter.
after what was the last time where they all got caught with their fucking hands in the cookie jar?
It's just been happening since the beginning of government. So
I think it was before the announcement of COVID. They sold off a
yes,
bunch of stocks.
yes,
It happens all the time, bro. They didn't do shit. So
that's something. That's something I want to get into after we run down everything we have to run down, and once I get situated, the last portion of the show, I want to get into this. I want to get into this Wall Street and this Robinhood app shit that went on last week.
Yeah,
I was affected by it a little bit, and it had me really shitty. I was affected by it with Robinhood itself, and on Cash App too, because a lot of people don't know you can buy and sell stocks on Cash App too. Same thing with Bitcoin. But I want to get into that once I'm set up in a hotel room towards the end of the show. And like I said, I should be situated here in about 40 minutes. I'm only 25 minutes out now. But yeah, so it's that's good. That's a big step forward with the government switching to all electric vehicles. That's a big step for the rest of the country to follow suit. California has always given a big tax incentive to electric vehicle purchases. They have for a while, and they renew every time it's about to expire. It gets renewed anyway. So there's all types of rebates. Same thing with solar panels and shit like that too. But what are some of the other ones that he signed?
Well, I know he did the healthcare joints, and then he did
reopened he opened enrollment, didn't he?
Yeah, and then he bumped up Medicare, I believe, and a couple other things I can't remember. The most recent or the immigration one?
Yes.
Yeah, which reinstated DACA protections.
Which is a very good thing, I think, and I know you do too.
Yeah, he put together a commission to try to reunite families from all the families that Trump split.
Yes, that's gonna be quite the undertaking itself. That I do not want to be a member of that task force.
Man, I have no idea how they're gonna figure that shit out. What a mess.
There's just so many, and whether the parents are back in their home countries or floating around somewhere in America, who knows? It's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah. Hopefully they find some pathway to success. I can't even remember. What was the last number you heard with how many separated children there were? Was it 1,500?
It'll slightly over 1,500.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's like, how do you, like come on, like, it's not funny, but I can't help but to laugh because the things that you think would never happen happened under the previous administration's watch.
Yeah.
You know, and
now you got to spend a lot of time undoing the things.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit that has to be fixed, and that time could be spent elsewhere.
Yeah. I know he issued a lot of orders on climate.
Yes. Oh, yes. Another big thing. That's one of the things why they're switching to all electric vehicles that the government's gonna have. It was part of the same day was all that shit was announced.
Yeah.
He's been very proactive. Which is a good thing because he hasn't played golf yet. Yeah, he hasn't played golf.
Man, he probably bust his ass playing golf, break something. But he also got us back into the Paris Accord, which is a big deal. It's a good thing because we were like one of 3 countries that weren't in it. It was just embarrassing.
Yeah. Yes. Like, I don't want to continue.
Argentina.
It's hard to, like, going into the second season of this show and with the new administration coming in, I wanted to limit the bashing of the previous administration, so to speak. But it's hard to stop doing that when we're still going through and facing the repercussions and the consequences from previous administration.
Yeah, trying to undo all the shit they did. And you know what else? We haven't even mentioned the fucking impeachment yet. And to be honest, like, I know we have to talk about it, but I really don't even want to. Like, I don't even want to give it oxygen. I'm so fucking over that.
Yeah, I'm the same way. But there is there's been some behind the scenes movement on that, and we'll get into that later too. I read some things this morning. I read this morning about that. Yeah. And there's a couple of things I want to talk about in a little towards the end of the show when we start talking about the stock market shit that I want to get into, and things that might affect the stock market coming up shortly. So, is there any other executive orders that he has signed that you want to get into that you know of offhand, or did you?
Nah, I think we talked about a lot of them. The initial wave last time we were on air. I don't really care to dig back into him. I don't have him in front of me. So I mean, he's just doing a whole lot of shit. You know, like whichever one jumps out at you, I guess is depends on what you're personally concerned about. But
Yeah, nothing's. Yeah, I mean,
42, bro.
uh,
Before Deuce, he hit the Jackie Robinson. Like he's definitely working. You know, he's doing
yes.
everything he can do without having to go through fucking turkey neck, turtle face in the fucking Senate. Which, by the way, the Dems and the GOP in the Senate reach an agreement, today on power sharing moving forward.
Yes.
When the fuck? I don't ever remember the GOP fucking sharing power with us. Like I get it, bro.
No, but we're
We
going to be the bigger people.
Man, fuck that.
I didn't agree. I didn't agree with it at all. I say we rub their fucking face in everything we can for the next 2 years.
Yeah,
But,
bro. We've been giving
goes.
them like way too much fucking attention. I think
Way
like,
too much. Way too much.
bro. They want how are 10 senators when Joe Biden has a 1.9 trillion fucking dollar COVID deal laid out? How are 10 senators are walking into the fucking Oval Office with a $600 billion deal?
And be serious about it. They
Yeah.
are serious. Serious. Oh my God. Like, bro, why?
Bro, I seen Rob Portman made a statement about a week ago saying that it would kill the opportunity for bipartisanship if we put this COVID bill through what do they call
Why do we care about bipartisanship if they didn't for the last 4 years?
Bro, they did the same process to get the tax cuts through and tried to do it with healthcare to kill Obamacare. If it wasn't for John McCain, bless his soul.
Yes.
Like and now now the shoe's on the other foot. It's like, be nice to us. Fuck you, man. Shut up. Sit down. Get the fuck out of here.
Nope.
Go win some elections, bitch. Like I ain't trying to hear none of that shit.
Yeah, I'm not down with. I don't play nice with others after you've been fucking me over for the last fucking 5-6 years.
Bro, I can't
Fuck
remember
that
the
shit.
Republicans ever giving a fuck about what we thought or how we felt about anything.
No, me neither.
So, but now the shoe's on the other foot. They want to be considered. How is Mitch still pulling power plays, bro? Like you're the minority leader now. He's still pulling power plays. That really makes me feel like fucking reconciliation. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Word escaped me in a moment. But like, it really makes me feel like Chuck Schumer's fucking weak. To be honest with you, man. Like, how is he not running the Senate like fucking Mitch McConnell would? We didn't have none of this shit when Mitch was fucking the Senate majority.
No. Yeah. You know what, Drew? Yeah. Yep. There you go. And we're gonna start making some merchandise here on White Devils. And that's gonna go in some elections, bitch. We're gonna have that on there. I'm gonna have Red whip up a design.
What's wrong with it?
And I was just thinking I could get fancy tonight if I wanted to right now, and I could fucking do 2 different camera views. But yeah, it's I know they're trying to be the bigger person, but I wouldn't have thought that after fucking everything that we've had to deal with, you know, with the previous administration and so forth. Like, why? Go in there, drop your fucking balls on your nutsack on the table, and take everything.
I'm gonna tell you why, bro. I'm gonna tell you why. We were getting into this before the show even started. Fucking the answer why is the fucking Democratic Rand Paul, aka Joe Manchin. Because this motherfucker doesn't want to get on board with what we're trying to do, and these margins are so slim, bro. It still gives Mitch some power. He don't want to fucking kill the filibuster because he's a bitch. Yeah. He don't want minimum wage. He wants minimum wage to be $11 an hour, bro. Because West Virginia is a broke ass state, man. Fuck you, Joe Manchin. Fuck West Virginia too. Sorry if anybody watches from there, but what the fuck, man? Yeah, get this dude out of office, bro. He's like a fucking.
West Virginia has a state record label and a crew.
Dude, he wants a more targeted fucking checks. Like he wants to put like if your household makes over 100 grand a year, 125 grand a year, you don't get no checks. Whatever. I don't care that much about that. But he's just been a cock blocker from day one. Joe Manchin is the biggest Democratic cock blocker. And I told you guys, I told you conservatives that a time would come where I would roast a Democrat. So fuck Joe Manchin. Fuck Kristen Sinema too on the low. She ain't talking all that shit, but she's still on her super moderate shit. And it's fucking up our agenda, bro. He's cock blocking us. We got to get him out the way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's fucking traitors. I mean,
yeah, man. My hope is that Joe Biden will ultimately get him to fall in line because he's a fucking Democrat still. He's talking tough.
That is what we're hoping. I'm trying to stretch this out a little bit. So as I'm pulling up to the hotel in about 12 minutes, you could start breaking down the stimulus update while I get into the room and shit, and then we can pick up from there.
I mean, that pretty much is the stimulus update. Joe Manchin's cock blocking our record.
Oh yeah. Basically it. Yeah, basically it. He's a fucking cock blocker.
The Republicans came with a sorry ass bill. By the way, there's child tax credits in that bill that fucking will take. There's some states, bro, that the child poverty rate will drop by 50% if that goes through, and the Republicans don't want it in their bill. Bro, like the child poverty rate, we want poor babies.
Republicans are going to Republican. I mean, what can we say? They're all about spending conservatively, unless it's fucking for the rich or for the big corporations. It's always been fuck the little guy, and it's so crazy how many little guys are still Republican. So many people that are living at or below the poverty line in places like West Virginia, places like Kentucky, places like Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana. I can fucking, where else? You know, South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, Wyoming. What the fuck? Like, how ignorant are you guys? Like, really? Like, I tried to make a promise to myself that I wasn't going to be so much of a fucking asshole to these fucking idiots, these cousin fuckers like that I like to call them during season 2, but it's hard. It's really fucking hard.
Yeah, but wait till we actually get into the GOP, bro. I mean, you're gonna have no choice but to talk some shit. I'm gonna.
That's what separates us. That's what separates White Devils from other political shows. Is we tell it how it is, and that was one of the reasons why I decided to join on with the show, because the show was originally Rich's idea, a podcast that he wanted to do. So now that we're doing it, we consider it a open forum for regular people to understand politics. And regular people like to fucking cuss, so I guess I'm just gonna keep cussing.
Fucking A. One of our viewers, man, if I'm about to trash your name, I'm so sorry. I can barely read this screen. Nasik made a pretty good point. The Republican governor, Jim Justice of West Virginia, is urging Biden to pass a massive bill. So that's an interesting dichotomy. You know, when you got Manchin fucking on his bullshit, but then you got the governor of West Virginia saying the exact opposite. And he's a Republican. He knows how the state needs aid. They need all that shit.
Yeah, you know? I mean, he only serves a part of that state. You know what I mean? So while the governor serves every resident.
Yeah.
You look at these states where these senators are fucking just complete dickheads, and it's their state, it's their constituents that are going to be affected by whatever a Democrat's trying to push through, or whatever the case may be. But they don't give a fuck about the rest of the state. Like everything. That's why it does not make sense that fucking McConnell's so against the regular person when the majority of the constituents are fucking regular ass, below poverty ass motherfuckers.
What? Yeah, but you know what else McConnell does? He brings in more federal dollars per person into Kentucky than any other state in the country.
Yeah, yeah.
So he gets them more fucking money.
Because they're so poor.
What'd you say?
Because they're so poor.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that would be
Yeah.
all. Yeah, all aid, Social Security, blah blah blah. Trying to read these.
Drew, don't ask me. I can't make sense of it either.
Yeah, well, you know what, Joe? I mean, Joe Manchin is a purple motherfucker. Like, let's just be real. He's the purple motherfucker. Like, he's a Democrat in a Republican ass state, and these are the things he's got to do to survive politically in that state. Okay. But at the same time, fuck him. Like, I don't give a shit about his career. I want him out of office. The only thing that worries me is that they'll probably fill it with a Republican. You're not gonna get anybody more liberal than Joe Manchin. But Joe Manchin ain't liberal enough. He's being a cock blocker, and he needs to fucking stop it. Get the fuck out the way.
Yeah, less cock blocking and more pushing some shit through, guys.
Yeah, man. Let's get this filibuster popped off. We can just start sliding legislation on a straight party line vote. That's what I'm talking about.
And yeah, if in a perfect world, but this is America. America.
Yeah, America.
Where we're gonna fuck you in the ass.
Where the Democrats win and still lose somehow. So,
when you win, you lose.
Yeah.
And when you lose, you lose.
Fucking power sharing. By the way, because it took so long to come to this fucking power sharing agreement, Lindsey Graham is still the head of the Judiciary Committee, I think, and he was approving Biden appointees, and guess who he came across? And he cock blocked Merrick Garland.
Yep.
Yeah, he cock blocked him. So they were not going to confirm him till after the impeachment.
Yeah.
Fucking Lindsey Graham. I got something else to say about him, but not yet. I gotta wait. I gotta wait
for a second.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's just a better place for it. So the GOP has been going wild. I wasn't sure how they were going to react coming out of power. And it turns out they just went completely fucking nutty.
Like little fucking brats throwing a temper tantrum?
Man, I mean, sort of. Like, that's what Fox News is doing a lot of. I heard a clip of Tucker Carlson today. And, bro, they make themselves out to be so victimized. And it's like, dude, you just lost. You fucking lost, bro. Like, shut up.
It's so weird.
They don't want to talk about the issues because they have no positions on a lot of these things.
No, not at all. None whatsoever. None.
But the GOP is having some internal beefs too, which we need to talk about. And I want to start with the higher ranked one, which is Liz Cheney. She's Congresswoman in the House, the third highest ranking member in the House for the GOP. And she was one of the 10 House members that voted to impeach Donald Trump. And because of that, the GOP is talking about having her like stripped of her position, her power. I don't know if they're going as far as committees, but like guys like Jim Jordan, that fucking clown, and Nat Gates, who went to her state, her home state of Wyoming, and threw a rally against her. This is how the GOP is treating itself these days. Like, we're going to talk about warring factions. He went to Liz Cheney's home state of Wyoming and threw a rally that basically said "fuck Liz Cheney."
Yeah, that's yeah.
So talk around Washington, I guess, is that she's been lobbying some of her allies, and they were actually having a meeting on her today. I don't think she's going to get penalized, but it's crazy, bro. Like, she is who the Republican Party should want to be, but they just fucking, like, half the party wants to dump her.
I mean, she should have seen it coming. But they're really, she wasn't the only one, and they're really pulling up on her.
And the other side is Republican Congresswoman Green. That's how I will address her. And it turns out this bitch is just fucking batty. Like, since 2018, she's been, what did she do? She said that an airplane didn't hit the fucking Pentagon.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
She was chasing David Hogg, I believe it was his name, who was a Parkland survivor. He was testifying on Capitol Hill, and she was chasing him around outside trying to question him. Fucking calling him a false flagger, said she doesn't believe in that or Sandy Hook or any of these, which is just fucking despicable. What a fucking cunty thing to be. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even. I try to never use that word, but man.
No, you got it right. That's the word. That's the fucking word. That's the word.
She liked posts about shooting Nancy Pelosi in the head. She was posting about getting people in position for them to hang Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
What the fuck is wrong with this bitch, man? They said they just found a new video of her, too. I can't remember what they were talking about, but it was more bullshit. Like, she's a QAnon believer. And
she's, well, look, Mitch McConnell came out. He didn't exactly call her by her name, but everybody knows who he was talking about.
Yeah, loony lies and conspiracy theories. Yeah, Mitch McConnell came out strongly, and then shockingly enough, the next day, like, so did 7 or 8 other senators. Except there's one exception. Lindsey Graham said he wanted to know if her account was hacked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, over fucking 3 years, her account was hacked. There's videos of her chasing this kid up and down the street by Capitol Hill.
Yeah,
Lindsey, what happened to Lindsey Graham, bro?
You know what?
He always just pussy.
You know what he did? He did what back in the day in the 80s and 90s when they said when TV shows jumped the shark. He jumped the shark.
He's fucking pathetic.
Political wise.
He is fucking pathetic.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. He's pathetic. I mean, he's holding on. Like all these Republicans, all these older Republicans are holding on and trying to hold on to every last bit of power that they have. Okay.
Well, at least some of them are drawing a line in the sand with fucking Republican Congresswoman Green. You know, like
at
least they came out and said something.
And the fucked up thing is that it's taking that. That's what it's taking. Like really? That's what it's taking? Like, what the fuck? Yeah. And she has her whole team fucking going through her Facebook, deleting everything that brings her insensitivity to light, and fucking but screenshots last forever.
Yeah, no, the internet, it's gone, bro.
Yeah, screenshots last forever.
So she's refusing to apologize for any of it after meeting.
Why would she apologize?
With Kevin McCarthy last night for 90 minutes. She did backtrack on the false flags for the school shootings. But other than that, man, she's very defiant with well, it seems like the Republican Senate right now. Okay. I know Kevin McCarthy actually just like an hour ago released he met with the leadership committee on how to penalize her because she's on like she said for years that the school shootings were false flags, and then they put her on the education committee, and she was on the budget committee, And she was on the fucking labor committee. Now, the Democrats
Yeah.
want her stripped of all of that. They want her Steve King.
Yes. Yep.
You can just sit at your desk and not do shit and have no fucking clout, is basically what their position is. But
Yeah.
Kevin
There you
McCarthy,
go.
who was just got back from Mar-a-Lago from fucking sucking Trump's toes, he wasn't so quick to act. And I know they met about it earlier today, and then after that, he released a statement of condemnation.
Yeah.
But I don't know that she was actually stripped of anything, any committees.
Yeah.
What the fuck are they doing, man?
Bro.
What I think it's the Georgia 14th district that voted her in, or whoever voted her in Georgia. What the fuck? Like, dude, they just had to pass a law in the House today that you would get fined if you didn't walk through the metal detectors. Because she was refusing to walk through the metal detector. Why are you going into the fucking House chamber fucking strapped?
Who? What? Like, come on.
Republican Congresswoman Green.
But you got something to rant about this week?
I mean, I kind of went in with my Joe Manchin thing. That's all I really had.
I'm about to go check into this hotel, so I got to drop out for a couple seconds.
All right. Yeah,
So I'll see how quick I can be.
All right.
You're a star, sir. Go in on him. I shall return.
All right. Republican Congresswoman Green. When I first heard about her, I didn't want to pay her any mind. But God, she has just made herself all the fucking news, hasn't she? Well, maybe that's just all CNN and MSNBC are talking about because they need news. But I mean, she said a lot of stupid shit. A lot of stupid shit. Could you imagine a scenario where you're threatening your coworkers? She had like an ad where she was holding an AR-15 and she was like, "I'm coming for the squad," and had all their faces on there. Like, you work with these fucking people, man. It's crazy, and it's none of it's that old. Some of it's from this year and last year, and it goes back about as far as 2018, I believe. And there's just no place for it. I think she should be stripped of all her committees and just left out there with no clout. You get no influence anywhere. That's what I think should happen to her. And Steny Hoyer is working towards that because he runs the House committee that oversees the seating of congressmen and women. So I know Kevin McCarthy was trying to work something out with him, but at the end of the day, it doesn't seem like the Republicans are going to go hard enough, and they're not going to send any kind of message. Well, they are going to send a message, and it says that this is acceptable, and they're empowering the QAnon supporters. And I heard this morning there was about 25 million of them out there, so there's a nice following, which is fucking insane. Like, you think that prominent Democrats are fucking drinking baby blood and doing all this fucking foul shit? It's fucking crazy. We've just completely exited reality at this point. I'm rooting for Liz Cheney just for the sake of decency. Kevin McCarthy is a fucking clown. This dude, I mean, you know what? I want to give him a little bit of credit. Like, he's got a very difficult job. He's got two different wings of that party that are entirely different. And now he's getting roasted by the Senate, which there's an unwritten rule about the House and the Senate getting in each other's business. But the GOP senators decided to break that rule at this time and really speak out against her. I know Joni Ernst said something. Rob Portman issued a statement. There was a couple others too. I mean, Mitch McConnell being the biggest. That's very strong of him to say that. But yeah, I think she should be stripped of all her committees, all her power. Somebody in Georgia decided that she should be voted in, but let her just sit there. And, you can vote yes or no when it's time for it, which probably won't even happen that often. And, the funny thing, I don't recall the dude's name that that she beat, but the guy was a conservative neurosurgeon, like a totally decent, successful dude. And instead, we get fucking QAnon, fucking gun nut, scumbag. It's just absolutely befuddling to me. So I don't know what you guys. What do you guys think of the Republican Party? Where do you think it's going? I I suspect it seems that Trump is going to maintain a fair amount of power. I was hoping that they would get away from him, and at first it seemed like they wanted to pull away from him, but then some of his supporters jumped up. Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley, Dan Crenshaw, some of these guys that want to be party leaders now, and they're defending him. They're keeping up with his line of thought, and they just and they've learned from him how to be successful politicians. They just bullshit. I heard a statement about from Ted Cruz. It's just a day or two old, denying everything that he said was going on. I didn't say there was fraud, blah blah blah. And they try to talk around it, but it's all just bullshit, man. Like they just say what is um what's best for them in the moment, and it doesn't even matter anymore. Like if they completely are complete hypocrites a year later. It happened with Lindsey Graham, with Amy Coney Barrett. Oh, you can write this down or whatever. I said this on this day that if this situation occurs, we will not do this. And then 4 years later, he did it. He pushed her in 60 days. George Conway was making the rounds earlier today, and he said that what we're witnessing is the moral erosion of the Republican Party. And it's hard for me to argue that point, to argue against it. There's still a handful of good Republicans, but you're seeing more and more of the decent ones retiring, stepping out of office, like Jeff Flake. Bob Corker was all right. Rob Portman's on his way out the door. And there was other ones too. And who you're seeing rise is Republican Congresswoman Green, Matt Gaetz, who is just a self-brander, man. He hasn't done anything. He's like one of the most popular Republican congressmen just because he's on TV all the time woofing a bunch of bullshit. I don't know. I mean, others too, I guess. You've got the party that's tied in with domestic terrorism, extremism. There was a guy from UN or from NC that had ties to some of these groups, and then there's the Bobert chick from Colorado. Hey, man, Republicans, y'all got to get your house together, man. Like we got our kooks, but our kooks ain't by and large dangerous. That's the difference. Like we just got Maxine Waters. That's like the angry drunk auntie at the party, fucking screaming at you over some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't the same as like let's storm the Capitol building and give Alexandra Ocasio Cortez fucking PTSD because it turns out she's a fucking sexual assault victim. She was hiding in a bathroom stall and she heard them banging on the door, screaming, "Where is she? Where is she?" Like they were looking to fucking kill our politicians, man. And this is gonna sound kind of funny, But like, even if it was just the Democrats, it would be one thing. But they were trying to kill Mike Pence. He's been the most loyal soldier to Trump this whole time. Just because they wouldn't fucking he wouldn't do something for him that it wasn't even really in his power to do. Because they just decided to make up laws, they went. It's the wildest, man. And now all that is all tied in to Republican Congresswoman Green. She's become the living manifestation of all that shit. God, she's such trash. Come on, Georgia. That ain't the best you can do. That ain't what you want. That's what you want to represent you? Republican Congresswoman Green? You made me open my eyes with that bullshit. You can do better. We need to do better. She was just Jason Hall. She was just telling a story yesterday. I seen video footage of it. She said she was hiding in a bathroom when all that was going on. So I don't know. If she's lying, then I guess she's lying. But I haven't double checked it to confirm it. But she definitely was on camera retelling her story just yesterday. Rob Villa back in the Villa.
Yes, sir.
I was just running out of shit to say. Your timing's impeccable.
See, there you go.
So what
Perfect
I
time.
was just talking about the GOP and Republican Congresswoman Green. You got any thoughts on top
that
of
bitch.
her
I
and just the
mean,
rest of the party?
I have nothing nice to say whatsoever. She's a piece of shit human being, and even though you do not like using the word, I will call her a cunt very easily. She is a dumb cunt. It makes me question her constituents' level of intelligence. So I don't know. It's weird and it's sad that like people that elect somebody like her, it makes you wonder if they're exactly like she is.
Well, you know
Do
what?
they?
They've been interviewing the guy she beat out, which was another Republican who was a conservative neurosurgeon, and he issued a statement that the voters didn't check under the hood with her. They didn't really dig into all the shit she was saying, the shit she was doing. I wonder what they were thinking. Really, like what made you be like, I want to vote for Republican Congresswoman Green?
Yeah, really. Like, well, what did go? This right here dropped out because of credible threats and intimidation by her people.
Yeah, I heard that before. The guy didn't bring that up when I heard the interview. I forget what his name was, but I don't, it's possible, man. I know the Democrat dropped out way early,
Yeah,
and then the Secretary of State wouldn't take the Democrat off the ticket to let somebody else run in his place.
because why would they?
Which, by the way, is another good point. There's over 100 new fucking voter restriction laws going through state legislatures right now. They're trying to cut everybody off of fucking everything again, bro. I hate that.
Why wouldn't they? It's crazy because we get surprised over shit like this when we know that we shouldn't be surprised.
We need to pass that Voters' Rights Act. I think that will protect the state voters with the feds from the states.
I mean, yeah, that's the best case scenario. Yeah, she's just really. Yeah, I don't know about this. Fuck her. She's a dumb bitch.
Well, and Jason, Jason Hall said, but Green isn't doing any favors for the Republicans' image, especially right now. But that depends on how you look at it, because all these fucking QAnon believers are loving this because she's being
they're loving it.
Now, sensible people like yourself are looking at it like, man, I need to get the fuck out of here. This is weird. This is too weird for me. We're drinking baby blood now and shit. Like fuck out Epstein Island, man. I don't know what's going on. Like I just want to talk policy, But there is a huge swath of people, a lot of Trump supporters that buy into all of that wackadoo shit.
Yeah, why wouldn't they? Like,
And they're loving it. They're being represented in our government now. Like that legitimizes them.
we already knew that they were easily persuaded, So if Trump was able to do it, why wouldn't somebody else?
Yeah. Well, and then Trump is still got his thumb on the scale, man. Like making McCarthy go down there to fucking hang out with him, and then they took a picture, and then
Which I do want to get into. When you said Mar-a-Lago, and I was pulling up at the hotel, so I didn't want to get into it right away. Man, there's a coffee machine in this bitch, but no coffee. What the fuck? Mar-a-Lago, the city is not happy.
One second, bro. Happy birthday to Joe Schmo. Joe Schmo.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's his birthday today.
Happy birthday, Joe. How old are you today? 27. But the city, when Mar-a-Lago was purchased, it was a residence. It was a private residence, and the grounds were all part of that private residence. Well, Trump bought it, and after Trump bought it, he wanted to make it an exclusive club, which it is now. What we know today, anyway. Well, what happened is the agreement he had with the town limited his nights he could stay there. He could stay there for 2 weeks out of the year, I believe. Maybe
there's
3, but
rules on like you have to stay X amount of time, but then you can't stay too much.
Yeah. So now it's becoming a big media fucking spot, and it's affecting residents' quality of life and things of that nature. So the town is seeing what they're going to do. Basically, Trump's probably going to have to buy a house somewhere down there if that's where he wants. If Palm Beach is where he wants to be.
Yeah. How can he buy a fucking house? Like who's giving him a mortgage, man? He doesn't pay any of his bills.
Melina better do a fucking centerfold for a house.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking share Melania.
Yeah, I've always been a registered Democrat, Jason, but I'm roughly the same. I voted across party lines many times for who the best candidate at the time was, so I have no problem with that. But yeah, it's so weird that he's gonna do something. Oh, he opened his office, the office of the former president.
He probably bought the house and opened the office in it, and then fucking for $700.
His wife, the first slut of America. I mean, the former first lady. She opened an office too. So did they open separate offices, or is it in the same complex? Or
I don't know what you're doing, man. I don't even want to talk about these motherfuckers anymore.
Let's get into the Wall Street shit. Jeff Bezos is stepping down as the CEO of Amazon, which is kind of a shocker. He's been riding the high, and he's, I guess, like you could say he's been personally responsible for the stock rise, the astronomical stock rise that they've had the past couple of years. But I'm wondering what the stock drop is going to be like with him stepping down. I know there'll be some shock. They call it a shock drop. It didn't. I don't think it dropped like that today, though.
They've already announced the replacement, which is good.
Yes.
And it's a guy who's high up in the company.
He's been basically being groomed since then. They're down basically 2% for the day.
Yeah, so that's minor.
Their share prices. The share price of fucking Amazon is still $3,300 fucking dollars. So.
Did you know that they've been in business since 1997?
That's crazy. And
as a bookstore is how they started.
As a bookstore, selling books out of his fucking garage.
Yeah. I know Drew works for Amazon, and I know he's got a lot of foul shit to say about him. He doesn't care for him very much. They do get a little bogus as far as the unionization of the work. And then I know a few people that they've fucked out on their disability checks. things like that. They do give a lot though. I don't know, man. They give nice health care. You know, you're getting it $15 an hour starting, which is decent as fuck for a warehouse job.
Yeah, not bad at all. But
I always liked how they cut people in, man. Like you could sell your product on their website, or you could buy into being a driver, a delivery driver, and get your own
yes,
van. So I always thought that shit was cool, but yeah, see, here comes true. What does he say?
exactly. Quarter four for Amazon earnings were 14 billion in profits as opposed to the 7 billion they expected. They could definitely afford more. Yeah. Excuse me.
They
They,
also
they, they could
added
definitely afford more.
they added like 300,000 jobs in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah, because everybody kept buying. I mean, people were getting their $600 unemployment kicker on top of their unemployment they're already getting.
I didn't
Stimulus
want to
money
become
was
an Amazon customer, but like I would go out, to these brick and mortar stores, and they wouldn't have what I
yeah,
needed, or wouldn't have the
yeah,
side.
exactly.
And Amazon has fucking everything. And then
I
I'm just,
myself, I order everything from Amazon. Well, everything that I can, unless I want it now. I'm a very impatient person, and I'd rather go to the store and have to spend $5 more so I can have it now.
so would
You know,
I.
but there's a lot of things that you wait 2 days for. I could wait 2 days for that. If not, there's a good chance you could get it from Walmart, Target, or if you're in the greater um, tri-state area, Meyer. So
Yeah, my big beef with Amazon is that they don't pay any taxes, and that's
that exactly that it makes no fucking sense whatsoever. So
well,
$14 billion they just made from quarter four alone, and are going to pay no tax on it.
yeah, well, if not nothing, next to nothing, way less than they should be paying.
If they were taxed like they were supposed to be, I wonder what that tax number would be. What are businesses taxed at federally? 12%?
I'm not even sure. I couldn't even tell you. I just know they're not
Uh,
paying enough.
I wish, Joe. I wish, but I love Walmart.
I don't go to Walmart very often, but I do go to
I'm in
Target.
Walmart all the fucking time. Sometimes twice, 3 times a day. All depends what exactly I forgot the first time I was there. Or no,
Oh,
what's the federal tax rate
you looking it up?
businesses? We'll look at the 2019 one. 21% is a small business tax rate.
Yeah. The problem is that they were so big that they literally had cities in states and even countries in bidding wars for their headquarters.
Oh yeah, Gary was part of it for a while.
Yeah.
Meyer Target, yeah, not much better, but it seems like those two companies really exploit their workers and tax the system.
I just go to Target 'cause I like it, not because they're any level of ethical responsibility.
Yeah, Myers has always been real good. I've been shopping at Myers like my whole life. I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan right now, but I spent my summers in Michigan, in Grand Haven, Michigan, growing up because my grandfather lived there. So I've been accustomed to going Myers for a long time. There's still a small family-owned store like that, and they try to pass on those values to their employees. Everybody that I know that works for Myers are happy employees. Uh, they're a bit pricey and don't carry as much as Walmart, but they generally got what you need for. If I'm going there, I don't care about the price. I'm going there because I got to get it because I don't want to wait the 2 days for Amazon. So
Right. If I
whatever.
do any shopping, it's at Jewel, who's unionized, or it's at Whole Foods, which as much as I fucking pay, they better be taking care of their employees.
Yeah, you would think so.
Paying taxes. Yeah.
I want last week there was a war between armchair investors and major Wall Street hedge funds. It all centered around stock trading app for regular people, basically, called Robinhood. There's a lot of apps you can do this on. Robinhood's one of them. Webull, Cash App, E-Trade. These are all stock trading apps where you don't really have to necessarily have full price for a share. You could buy little portions of a share. Like I could go on Cash App right now and buy $10 worth of Amazon, even though full share is $3,312.56 or whatever. But there's a Reddit page. There's been a Reddit page for a long time called Wall Street Bets. I've been a member of that page for about 14, 15 months. I'm not on Reddit like that. I usually only go there when something that I Google pops up that it's in Reddit, so I'll open it up and it'll take me, to the page or whatever. But I don't usually just go and scroll through. But what the members of this page, what they did is they go after these hedge funds that were short selling these stocks of these legacy companies, so to speak. And last week it was AMC Theater Chain, along with GameStop.
And Nokia.
Nokia was brought in to end, and if that's where I got pissed off about it. What happened was all these Redditors and people that the Redditors knew. I was a part of it too, on a lower scale. But what happens was we all bought these stocks and drove the price up. Hedge funds lost billions of dollars. It's basically the same thing that the hedge funds used to do, or will still do. But the only difference is Robinhood stopped purchases of those stocks. Cash App did too for a while because I couldn't buy any of those, and they wouldn't even let me buy Nokia. GameStop's not on the Cash App stock buying platform. You can't buy every stock on Cash App. It's only who they got, who gives them the okay, basically. So
I saw an interview with the Robinhood CEO, and he was just hiding behind some industry policy that he's got to cover X amount of debt or some shit. Like, I don't know. Like, it could have been true, but it also sounded like some bullshit, kind of.
Well, yeah, that's the way. But I believe, I got to find the article. There's an article where Robinhood works directly with one of these hedge funds.
Yeah, one of them is their.
So it's that's a real weird situation there too.
Yeah, super dicey.
Now what happens is all these Wall Street people were like, oh my God, how can they do this? It's the same shit that they do every day. It just happened to them. But AOC, even Ted Cruz, they want to start an investigation into it and exactly why it happened and find preventative measures for it to not happen again.
AOC said that Ted Cruz could sit his bitch ass down.
Yeah, yes, she did. Yes, she did.
No, bro, sit the fuck down. Let me work. But here's the thing. I think that people need to understand, and there's a move that these hedge funds use called shorting, and it's basically putting money down that the business is going to fail. And that's what all these hedge funds had wrapped up in GameStop. they were in on a short. And then all these Redditors came in and blew the stock up and fucked them on the short. Cost them a bunch of money. And yeah, they halted trading for a period. Like I said, they hid behind a bunch of technicalities and shit, but it kind of just sounded like some fuck shit, to be honest with you.
Well, what I was trying to figure out.
Hey,
$2.94 billion that Amazon would have to pay on that.
Oh,
at 21%
on their taxes.
Yeah,
I mean, we could use that for sure. Now,
$2 billion.
I know that I know there was like Robinhood had to take a $1 billion loan. And I know there were some hedge funds that had to take some $1 billion loans. So some people really lost some money.
They lost quite a bit of money. They lost a lot of money. when the pandemic started and the shelter in place started in last year, early or well, what March last year or so, um, AMC stock plummeted, and I bought a bunch. It rebounded for a short time in August, and I went ahead and sold. Um, because it didn't look like anything was going to be opening anytime soon, so I didn't expect a stock jump.
Yeah.
I had 127 shares of AMC. If I would have kept those 127 shares of AMC and been able to sell last week after it ceilinged out after fucking rising 309%, I would have. Those were one of the times I was like, "Fuck! I wish I was a more patient person."
Yeah, I mean, stocks are long-term investments a lot of the times. It depends on how you play in the market. But like
So
I told
what I tried to do when all that shit was going on last week, what I tried to do was I tried to buy a bunch of Nokia stock on Cash App. They wouldn't let me buy it. I tried to buy it on Robinhood. They wouldn't let me buy it. I was able to buy a little bit on E-Trade, but by that time it had risen up a little bit, and it didn't really do what they needed to do because Wall Street bullied up upon the Redditors in the forthcoming days, and everything has been driven down. There's been a lot of people that thought they made a lot of money. A lot of Redditors did not get out. They decided to stay because they thought they were going to continue the upward trend, and AMC plummeted and they lost everything that they had put in, which for the majority of it wasn't a lot. Majority of them lost under $400, right
yeah.
around. I think the median was like 440 bucks or some shit like that.
Well, and that's what I told my homegirl yesterday is that like, dude, you were just part of a fucking massive pump and dump. Like, you got to sell those stocks because
It did finish. AMC did finish upwards 14% up today from the close of yesterday. So the Redditors are holding firm. They're not selling. A lot of them are holding on to them, and some of them are still buying because even right now it's only $8.97 a share. It's still a good buy because everything's gonna start opening up again. So
it may be in AMC's case, maybe, but dude, there's a lot of problems there because the gains aren't based on anything. The company's still not making no money. You know what I'm saying? AMC might make a comeback, but like GameStop is on it, dude, and even AMC was about to claim bankruptcy.
Yes.
All those gains.
No, you know what? Before that day, they were able, like 3 days before that, they were able to secure a restructure and another loan to stave off the bankruptcy for another 9 months. They had enough cash on hand to get through 2021 if need be.
I mean, they're going to drop back down because they're not making no fucking money. Now, theaters might come back, but on the other hand, you got HBO Max now. They're releasing movies the same day as the theaters are.
Yeah, and Wonder Woman 84 did do good. It with everything they did, it resonated they would have brought in about $167 million, which I don't know if that's just what in the first 5 days that it was available for streaming or not, but that's what they announced. They also released a new Denzel Washington movie last Friday called The Little Things.
Little Things.
Did you watch it?
Oh, yeah, it was all right.
I liked it. Somebody was like, it was too slow for me. Denzel's fucking old as fuck. He's not going to be out there fucking training day it up like that. So it was a cerebral movie. It had a couple that little thing at the end, that little throw at the end Denzel did was pretty cool. But I liked it. So it's a little long, but I got a fucking 120-inch fucking screen in my room. So I'm going to watch every movie that I think is going to interest me.
I think, and this is just me, but I live this shit. You know, I look back at what Napster did to music.
Okay.
How it just slaughtered the profit margins. And I think HBO Max is going to do the same thing to movies. Like they're not going to make 400 or 500 million anymore. They might not do $1 billion of film anymore.
I think it's gonna. I think the model's not gonna be sustainable just for the amount of money it costs to make some of these movies. And to make some of these movies, you can't drop the price tag down. You gotta while we will see a lot more art house independent style movies going straight to streaming platforms like these last couple big ones, um, where they'll be able to turn a profit and stuff. I don't foresee it major tentpole franchises being based solely on debuting on streaming platforms.
I don't know if people are going back to the theater, man.
Oh,
Like
they're
everything's
they're
moving towards, in your home, on demand. Like
there's still a solid group of cinephiles that are gonna go. Like most AMC's in cities, you could rent them out and pick
for like
whatever they have on have. Yeah, exactly. So and they're still like the AMC by my house. It's open. They're not playing a bunch, but it's open.
yeah.
I can go.
But,
I can go in there and see
they're making
the
any,
little thing. They're not making much. I don't think they're probably turning any type of profit, but they are putting some money in some workers' pockets and helping some families out and shit like that.
yeah.
But they're also maintaining relevancy. They're showing that they're there. They are open, and once there's movies that are released that people want to see, they're gonna go. I
You
know
know,
I'm going to be there. If I got to be in there wearing a face mask, whatever. I fly all over the place. I fly to Vegas. I fly to Miami, wherever. I wear my fucking little face mask for the fucking 4-hour flight, whatever. Oh, well. If that's what has to be done, that's what has to be done. But
I
I'll
was
be
in
in there eating my popcorn.
I was in the theaters a couple times over the summer, but I mean, both times it was to see Empire Strikes Back, and there was
Okay.
like six people in the theater. So we were,
Okay.
and we still had our masks on when we weren't eating popcorn. Drive-ins seem to be popping. I went to a few of those over the summer.
Yes.
But then,
Yes.
like, you've got these streaming services, bro. Have you seen One Night in Miami yet?
I have not sat down and watched it yet. It is
Bro,
on my
that's
list,
the
though.
best movie I've watched in I couldn't even tell you how long. That movie was
Well,
so good and so well done with such a budget, and it's never going to theaters. It was on Amazon
no.
Prime, and that's it. And there's more of that coming.
But the thing, and the thing that sucks about that is it's not going to be eligible for any awards because they have to have at least I think a 31-day fucking limited theater run.
They got to change those rules, man. This movie's too good. It's too good, too well done to not be up for any Oscars. If this thing wasn't up for any Oscars, it would be absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard nothing but good things for it. About it, I should say. I know it's something that Regina King was very very passionate about.
Yeah, she
Uh,
directed it.
yeah. So I might actually I might watch it tonight because I don't really have anything to do tonight. I'm gonna grab something to eat after we wrap this up, and then that's it. So
I would recommend Rob and everybody listening and watching right now to watch that film tonight because that was a great fucking movie. I would love to talk about it, but if you guys haven't seen it, I'm not gonna, dig into it. But maybe we'll talk about it next week or something.
right now, actually, there is One Night in Miami is in theaters.
Really?
It's just which theaters. It's in a couple theaters in the Denver area. I just opened up Fandango, and for some reason it has me in fucking Denver.
Probably just enough to get them Oscar nominated.
Yeah.
Oscar eligible because that movie's definitely gonna win some Oscars, bro.
Yes, but if anything showed us that last week is we need more regulation, a little more regulation on Wall Street and what could be done and what can't be done. Because a lot of these redditors were treating it as a game, as like a virtual slot machine type thing, So something has to be done to protect the little guy from getting fucked over by hedge funds and from losing out on shit like that.
Well, let's see how Congress follows up with this. If they have investigations, if they dig into it, what the penalties will end up being. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely like the game is rigged against the little guy because as soon as the big guys started losing, they shut the game down, which was wild. Yep. They could just be so blatant about it.
Yep, it's I don't know. It's sickening. I was really pissed off really pissed off because in reality, they kind of fucked me over where I probably could have fucking came up about $1,200-1,300.
Yeah, but
So
that come up.
it is what it is. Yeah. So fuck them.
Yeah. So are we gonna talk about the fucking impeachment? Impeachment part 2?
Oh, I mean, I don't want to until we have. There's nothing really to say much about it now. It's the same thing as last week or last episode.
Well,
Democrats
Trump,
want it. Republicans don't. But there's a bunch of fucking people sending letters. There's a bunch of Republican staff members writing letters to their bosses saying they want him
convicted. Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest thing, the biggest new thing thus far.
Well, there's a few things that have been going on, and that's most of the Republicans are hiding behind procedure. They think it's unconstitutional, and that's kind of how they're waffling, so they don't have to say that he did this shit, and they don't have to say that he didn't do this shit. Trump lost his whole legal team over the weekend.
Again.
His whole legal team left him because they couldn't agree on what their legal approach was going to be. They wanted to and Trump wanted to argue voter fraud because he can't let the shit go. So he's got a couple of new lawyers, Bruce Castor and I don't know the other guy's name, and they seem to have at least got him on the constitutionality end because they released their like opening briefs, I think today, and that's what they went with was the constitutionality of it because he's not a sitting president. I don't know. I don't know. Like the brief was a little wacky that they threw out. The Democrats were stronger, but at the end of the day, are you going to get enough senators to vote against Trump? I don't know.
That's it's going to be
dicey. Right now, it
looks like I think there's still a lot of people that want to go back to the movies, but a lot are waiting for all clear to go back safely. That's the thing. There's going to be a point in time where we're not going to know that it's time until everybody starts doing it. So I'm living my life. I'm living my life. I'm back to living my life normally. Precautions that I've been taking for the past 10 months are kind of ingrained in my day-to-day activity. So those are still kind of present. But for the most part, I'm right back to normal. I'm one of the people that go ahead, give it to me. Let me get it and give it over with. I'm waiting for my state to open up the vaccination avenues to people my age, so I can get vaccinated. So I'm ready. Just
a lot of the states are waiting on the money from the COVID package. A lot of that's on distribution. But they're talking like I seen today, like their deadline is March 14th.
Okay.
Which that's when the unemployment runs out. So I understand that as a date, but at the same time, man, fuck that shit. Like we're gonna give these Republicans a whole nother month and a half to listen to their.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it through. Let's get this $1,400 in my direct deposit.
How about it gets passed on the day of our first Sunday show, February 14th? Like, get that shit in the air.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope. I already know what I'm doing with my stimulus money.
I'm probably not even getting it. I didn't even get the first or second stimulus check. So
no.
No.
Did you fill everything out right?
You don't need to fill nothing out to get the check.
If
PPE, which we also got fucked on.
Well, no, I'm talking about the personal one. I went online and I went to this government link. I was forwarded a link because I didn't file taxes in 2019. So that's what they were going to base everything off of for the first run.
Right.
So if you did file taxes in 2019, there was a government link IRS.gov link that you went to basically fill out your banking information, and you made zero income. And that's how I got mine. So I got the first round just fine, and then the second round just fine. Like, it just came through one day. I was fucking at, you know the story. I was at the studio on the phone, fucking bitching out Comcast, and I got a message, and I looked, and I got $600 from the government, and I was like, okay, Comcast guy, do what you can. I'll talk to you later. I wasn't so pissed off anymore.
Man, listen, if there's one thing our watchers can take away from this episode, it's fuck Comcast business. these motherfuckers, I went through it, bro, for like 8 to 10 months with these motherfuckers. Ended up getting put into collections, even though I was making payments, paid off all that shit. I just got hit with another collections bill Sunday, bro, or Saturday.
Oh my god,
$156. I squared the shit off 6 months ago, bro, and they just hit me back. It was such bullshit. I didn't even fucking. I was gonna.
Today's show is being streamed from a Verizon hotspot in Grand Rapids. Fuck Comcast.
Fuck Comcast. Fuck Comcast business, especially. That shit. The motherfuckers are savage, bro. I was calling there every 2 weeks, and every 2 weeks I get a whole different story. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous.
That
but
it is.
So yeah, the impeachment briefs were delivered today. The impeachment proceedings start next week. I don't know if we're going to have witnesses or affidavits or anything like that. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. We'll probably have something.
Well, it seems like they want to get through it real quick. So I don't know. I hope they do. I hope they do it right. But they might fuck it up again.
Hopefully we got some good news, some better news on all these fronts next Wednesday. Which next Wednesday, again, guys, is our last Wednesday show. We will launch Sundays on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day.
After you're done fucking your girl, come fuck.
Well, no, we're going to start at 4, so you would think they you can watch us before you go to dinner. Or if your girl's into politics, you can watch the show together. Just a thought.
Yeah, bring your girl with you. Hey, baby.
But that I think that pretty much wraps us up for this week, unless you had anything else you wanted to get into.
Nah, man. I think it all came out.
Do you feel better?
It was a good, well-rounded episode.
But guys, next Wednesday at 5 o'clock, we will be here. White Devils, season 2.
Hold on, can I answer Cheeto's question real quick? Yes, I'm fucked up, man. I could barely see out my fucking right eye. I could barely even read your fucking comment. I'm getting a little bit better, a day at a time. It's just a real slow recovery. I don't know. I really just hide at the crib. I only come out to the studio on Wednesdays to do the podcast. But
that's basically his, and he's only been back in studio one day. We've been doing everything kind of remotely, so
yeah.
And now he's in the studio and I'm remote.
Bro, he's on his way to a fucking funeral. That's how fucked up this year's been, bro. I did an episode from the ICU.
Yeah, you did. You literally, and he really did. He was a soldier. He called me a couple days before, and he was like, "I want to do the show." And when I'm talking to him, he looked like complete shit. And I'm like, "You sure you want to do the show?" He's like, "No, I want to do the show." Tubes in him and everything. He's ready to do the show.
Bro, you should see how I fucking look now. I can't take this hat off. My neurologist fucking won't let me get a haircut until I see him on the 15th.
Oh, okay.
My shit is just outrageous. Even my beard is just so fucking long. And then
looking real lumberjackish there, buddy.
My shit doesn't grow up top. So
the important thing is you're not dead. So you're here with us. We get to continue to do the show, and
Yeah, we're gonna keep giving it to you. Like I said, neither blizzard nor brain injury nor funeral is gonna prevent us from fucking dropping that hot shit for all you guys
yes,
to fucking eat up.
yeah. The plan was this past Sunday to premiere, but we got quite a bit of snow, and
Yeah, we got
the
snowed out.
snowplow decided to rip the fucking internet cable out of the ground, out of the building again. So, but that has been fixed. Actually, as of yesterday, it was totally fixed.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I clearly had just this whole episode from it.
Yeah. What do you know? But Sunday nights, guys, tune into my other show, Sunday Dinner, Sunday night at 7 o'clock on these same channels, the Villain Radio page, the Rob Vill page, robvillain.com, or the Villain Radio Network YouTube page. And
Hey,
until
Rob,
then,
who you got for the Super Bowl?
it's Kansas City has always been my second favorite team, to the point where, like, growing up, my bedroom was painted Kansas City yellow, and I had Kansas City blankets. But I became a Kansas City fan after the 49ers traded Joe Montana to them.
Right.
I got the Bucks. I wanna see Brady add to his another tool to his Infinity Gauntlet.
There's no stopping Patrick Mahomes, man.
We'll see what happens.
If anyone could do it, it'd be Tom Brady, but I just don't see it, bro. I think Kansas City's going to cover. I'm going to say 34-28, 35-28.
34-28. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we. I have this. Actually, I don't even know if we're doing Sunday dinner this night because of the Super Bowl. If anything, we might go live after the Super Bowl. But I'll let you viewers know closer to Sunday.
Yeah.
If not, we'll see you guys Wednesday. Enjoy. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.